This is Gabriel Raam that you are watching at the moment. I'm sitting with my student Karmit. We're going to have a dialogue on the book of Ecclesiastes. It's called Kohelet, in which I hope to be stimulated through the dialogue to open up various facets and depth in this most wonderful, amazing text, which is said to be of King Solomon. I'll read the text first in Hebrew, and then I'll read it in English. I'll translate it instantly into English, and then I will try through dialogue to open it up. דברי קהלת בן דוד מלך בירושלים. הבל הבלים, אמר קהלת. הבל הבלים. הכל הבל. מה יתרון לאדם בכל עמלו שיעמול תחת השמש? דור הולך ודור בא, והארץ לעולם עומדת. וזרח השמש ובא השמש, ואל מקומו שואף זורח הוא שם. הולך אל דרום, וסובב אל צפון. סובב, סובב, הולך הרוח, ועל סביבותיו שב הרוח. כל הנחלים הולכים אל הים, והים איננו מלא. אל מקום שהנחלים הולכים, שם הם שבים ללכת. כל הדברים יגעים, ולא יוכל איש לדבר, לא תשבע עין לראות, ולא תמלא אוזן לשמוע. מה שהיה הוא שיהיה, ומה שנעשה הוא שיעשה, ואין כל חדש תחת השמש. יש דבר שיאמר, ראה, זה חדש, הוא כבר היה לעולמים, אשר היה מלפנינו. אין זיכרון לראשונים, וגם לאחרונים שיהיו לא יהיה להם זיכרון, אם שיהיו לאחרונה. It is most powerful text, amazingly powerful. This is what Kohelet, the son of David, king in Jerusalem, said. Nonsense. All nonsense, said Kohelet. Everything is absolute nonsense. What is the advantage that a person has in his efforts that he works under the sun? Generation comes, generation goes, and the land forever stands. And the sun shines, and comes the sun to its place, trying to shine, and it's there. Going to the south, turning to the north, turning the spirit, and all its sides returns the spirit. All the rivers go to the sea, and the sea is not full. To the place where the rivers go, that's where they come to go. All things are tired. No one can speak, and the eyes that don't have enough to watch, the ears are not getting full from hearing. What was is that which will be, and what was done, that what will be done, and there is nothing new under the sun. There is something that would be said about, look, it's new. It was forever. which was before us. There is no memory to the first ones, and to the last ones that will be no memory, even though they have been last. It's interesting that the text in Hebrew has got so much power and invigorating sense in it, as though it is very depressing. And in English it doesn't have that kind of an impact, maybe because of my very feeble, non-perfect translation, but I don't think it's the only reason. Okay, so Kermit, have you got anything to say about the text? What's your response? What's your feedback? How do you?
In English?
Whatever you want.
There is two sides of this text, really. And one is the powerful one that gives you power from, and the other one make you feel weak.
You want to speak in Hebrew? I
yeah,
see that.
Yeah, it's much better. It's much better for me.
Yeah, okay.
אני באמת רואה שתי השפעות שיכולות להיות.
There's two influences that it can have.
Yeah, on a person.
The two influences that this text can have on a person.
Yeah. ההשפעה השטחית יותר אולי.
The more superficial influence.
הראשונית.
The immediate one.
Yeah. היא הרגשה של חולשה.
The immediate sense is weakening sense.
כן. זה מוריד מערך האדם.
It puts you down. You're less valuable. You feel less valuable.
וההרגשה העמוקה יותר, אולי שהטקסט מביא, ואני חושבת שזאת הכוונה, זה דווקא להעלות את ערך האדם.
You're saying that the deeper meaning is to upgrade the value.
דרך החיבור.
By connecting to this text.
כן, מה אתה חושב על זה?
Well, what you're asking is what I think about it, and I've got a question on what you're saying, because you know that I believe very much in a Socratic dialogue. It's not that I don't have anything to say, and that's why I'm returning the question back to you. But I think that in order to have real search for higher or deeper meaning, there should be space. And it's like a dentist. If you've got toothache, he makes the hole bigger. So if you say something, in order to respond, I need to understand deeper where you're coming from when you say what you say. Okay. Otherwise, I will be just full of myself and speak because I've got opportunity to speak. Okay. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So you're saying that, what was the last thing that you said? Say it again.
שדרך החיבור לטקסט דווקא אפשר לקבל הרבה כוחות.
Alright, so why do you think that the text actually gives you power? You're saying that it's got a double effect. Weakening effect and giving power.
כן.
Alright, it's very clear why it's a weakening effect. Yes, because of what he says about human being in life. Where's the power coming to it?
From knowing the truth, I think it's...
So if you know the truth,
then you can be out of it.
Okay.
What do you think about it?
Yeah, it's true. When you know the truth, you can be out of it.
In the middle of it, there is he's saying that you can see something and say, wow, this is a new thing. But no, he's talking to the person that is sure that his life is the most important life, and everything is new in his life, and he's making the thing, and he's very heavy, like you said before to me. He's in the center of the world, and he's saying, no, I'm sorry to disappoint you. Everything was and will be after you, was before you and will be after you.
And why are you glad about it?
Because
I sense gladness from him.
נכון, it's true. Because he wants to, הוא רוצה להעיר אנשים. יש פה משהו.
I don't think that he wants anything. He's
הוא
very
אומר את
neutral
האמת.
about what he's saying. You see, you attribute to him a wish to help you. He's no longer with us. No, I think the reason why you are glad is different. I think it lessens, if I say a word that you don't understand, tell me. It lessens the weight of self-importance that you have of your life.
נכון.
I think this is what the text does. I like to quote a saying that I heard when I did my initial training in the army, which is called tironut, which is very difficult. And someone said the sentence, don't take this life seriously, because anyway you won't get alive out of it. And I like it.
Yeah.
And I think that this text makes everything very, very light. It's telling people, don't take your life seriously. Be weightless, because in the end, nothing is important. So this is very difficult, you know. If nothing is important, what's the point of living?
It's a good question.
It's a good question. All right. So I suggest that we will try to open the text sentence by sentence. These are the words of Kohelet, son of David, king in Jerusalem. So it's interesting why he chose this particular phrase. Obviously, Kohelet is not his real name. He chose a name which signifies something, which says something. I won't get into the Hebrew meaning of it, but it's important to note that he chose a name.
Can you say just a few words about the meaning?
Kohelet. Well, I know there has been interpretations about it. Kohelet is coming from kahal, lakhil, to gather, which is very interesting because the text is very individualistic. It's talking about human being, but it's talking about human being in the broadest sense possible.
In the what?
Broadest sense possible. Broad, wide.
Okay.
And maybe that's why he chose the name Kohelet, but I don't know, this is hypothesis. So this is the words of Kohelet, son of David, king in Jerusalem. So basically David didn't have many sons, so mostly we know that it's King Solomon. So he's playing a game of hide and seek. He's saying, you don't know my name, but you know who I am. I'm the son of David.
I didn't know it.
What?
It's King Solomon.
Oh, you didn't know that?
No, I didn't.
Well, it's quite known, at least I know, that it says that there are 3 books in the Bible written by King Solomon. Mishlei, which I don't know the translation into English. Psalms, no, Psalms is Tehillim. When he says words, sentences of wisdom about life. Kohelet, Ecclesiastes, and the Song of Songs. And it says, it's very nice, that he wrote the Song of Songs when he was young. He wrote Mishlei, the Book of Wisdom, when he was middle-aged. And when he was old, and he was writing Kohelet. And I've got a comment about this. I think that if he wrote it when he was old, then my respect for the book decreases. You say yes. Why do you say yes?
יורד או עולה אמרת?
יורד.
אז אני חשבתי עולה. סליחה, חשבתי...
See, it's not a big deal to be an old man
And to know
that your life is finished already and you look at it and say, that's all what this was all about, you know? But it's a big deal to be young and to look at the essence and the nature of life and to see and to understand what only old men see, but then they see it from the subjective standpoint. Young man, when he sees that, doesn't see it subjectively. He must see it from a neutral standpoint, otherwise he won't get there, because he's not there subjectively to see it. You see what I'm saying?
It can be interesting to look at Mishlei in another time and to see
Mishlei?
If he saw the thing different than now, if he said different things.
Of course.
Yeah.
Mishlei, which is the book of wisdom, I don't know the name in English, he gives a lot of advice to young person how to live moderate, wise life so you won't be a fool. You won't be stupid and life will not bring you to terrible situations. He's actually believing that you can have a good life, and if you get the right advice, you can have a good life. It's better to be wise, full, all the rest of it. There's a lot of morality in it. This book is without morality. It's beyond morality. He's not saying how to live. He's looking. I would say this is a purely philosophical book. Something else which is interesting, you know, I'm saying it's not a big deal to write this book when you're old. The same thing I would say about Song of Songs. It's not a big deal to believe in the Song of Songs, which is in the pleasures of the flesh, basically, eroticism and all the rest of it when you're young. And to be full of the joy of life when you're young, it's a big deal to be full of the joy of life when you're 80. Okay, so we're in the first verse, son of David, king in Jerusalem. So what I get out of it is that he knows who he is and he knows his value. I want you to know that the king wrote it. I'm not just like everyone else. I saw what I saw from the standpoint of the king. And in Jerusalem. I don't know if it was holy then, but it was the central city. So it's very interesting, he's saying, I'm the son of David, I'm king, I'm in Jerusalem. And then he comes to speak about life without any sense of royalty whatsoever, just in the simplest terms, which is very interesting, which is saying, in the terms of the eternal perspectives of human life, it doesn't matter if you're a king or beggar. The truth is the same. So maybe he said that he is a king to show the paradox between what he is writing, between the fact that he is a king, and despite the fact that he is a king, he sees what he sees.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. So this is the first sentence. And then, after he says the first sentence, saying, hello everyone, I'm Solomon, how are you? Everything is fine, good day, sit down. And then comes the punch. I mean, before you manage to sit on the chair, you get a fist which breaks all your teeth at once. So imagine you come to someone, he shakes your hand, say hello, and then you get the biggest fist in your face you ever got. This is what's happening. He's saying, these are the words of Kohelet, son of David, king in Jerusalem. Hello, how are you? And then he's saying, nonsense. Everything is absolute nonsense, said Kohelet. Absolute nonsense. Everything is nonsense. So it's interesting how many times he says nonsense, which is Hevel Havelim. 1, twice, 3, 4, 5 times in a sentence which has in it 8 words. So in a sentence of 8 words, 5 times he says nonsense. What's also interesting about this sentence, that he continues to talk about himself in a third body. All nonsense, says Kohelet. Like he says, these are the words of Kohelet. So maybe he's trying to say something to us. Do you know what he's trying to say to us? I'm not talking to you from identifying with myself.
Yeah.
I'm talking to you from a neutral standpoint. It's not me. It's he. It. It's coming through me. I'm not identifying with what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I think it's great ability to see me as it. The moment you manage to look at yourself in the third person, you've got a space in you to see the world as it is. But when you identify that this is you and it's happening to you, you're full of the weight of you, and then you don't have a space in you to see what is actually going on. It's interesting that also in certain cultures, it doesn't exist anymore. You don't talk to a person in second body, you. You say he.
In French you talk like this. No?
Yes. And this is actually giving a space to the other person. Alright. So, the second sentence is nonsense. I need to say that in Hebrew, Hevel Havalim, if I translate Hevel, which there's a lot of interpretation about the word Hevel. Hevel is actually the kind of breath which is coming out of your mouth in a cold day. Then you see a kind of a foggy thing. It's called Hevel.
Not only in a cold day, also when it has a smell.
Hevel זה לא רק מראה, it's
Hevel
not just
פיו.
okay, fine. So when there is a physical manifestation of the breath out of your mouth, it's called Hevel. It's also nonsense, Hevel. And you got in Hebrew Hevel Havalim. So you have it in first tense and in plural tense, which you don't have in English. You don't have nonsenses. You have nonsense, which is interesting also. So he is doubling it. He's saying life is nonsense in singular and nonsense in plural. So
Not more than your breathing out. There is nothing more there.
what?
שום דבר יותר מהבל הפה שלך.
Yeah, but I look at it differently. Why does he say it is singular and plural?
כן.
Is that what you're saying?
כן, גם זה, גם ביחיד וגם ברבים, וגם זה שום דבר יותר מ... הוא מדגיש את זה בכל דרך אפשרית.
Yeah, I'm just talking about the fact that it's singular and plural. I want to explain that. He wants to make sure that you get it. It's stupid in singular context tense, and it's stupid and absolute nonsense in plurals. It doesn't allow you an opportunity to escape the totality of what he's saying. If you think there is something in life which is not total nonsense, I don't allow it. Everything, every single thing, and everything is nothing. Everything is nothing, or everything is nonsense, says Kohelet. Again he's saying, Hevel Havalim. Again he's saying in singular and plural again. And then he's saying, everything is nothing. So, it's interesting because when I think about this is very much to do with the Zen Buddhist view of the void, that the world is nothing, that the highest level you can come to in your spiritual development is the level of emptiness. Where it takes my mind also, funnily enough, is to the quantum physics. Well, basically what they're saying is that when you look into the atom, I think you've got about 95% hollow space within the atom. The space that the electron and the proton and the neutrons actually take within the atom is probably less than very few percent. The rest of the percentage of the atom is empty space. Now, if you look at the human body, it's got mainly space. The material actually that we see is an illusion. The reason why we see it as matter and not as space is because of the fast speed of the movement of the electrons within the atom. But actually, the proportion between what is in you and what isn't in you is 90% isn't. The same with the table, the same with the chair.
Wow.
Everything is made of nothing. The universe, definitely. I mean, if you look at stars, in the vastness of the universe, the stars are like specks of dust in eternity. So, basically, what he's saying, you can look at it differently. He's saying, well, life is made of nothing. Everything is nothing. And it is interesting that a high spiritual method like Zen Buddhism put the idea of nothing on such a high level. Do you want to say anything?
זה מזכיר לי את ה...
I'm just saying thoughts that come to my head about this.
זה מזכיר לי לגמרי את הציורי קיר האלה ברחוב, רק עושים חורים, יש איזשהו שטח שהוא מושחר, ועושים רק חורים, ודרך זה אתה רואה את הפנים. זה בדיוק זה. זה הכלום.
I don't understand.
Go on, please.
What did you try to say?
That I can understand what you're talking about. I can see it.
Okay. Fine, but this is not a feedback. Okay. And then he wants actually to make sure that we don't take that thing of nothingness and nonsense in a good way. And he's saying the third sentence. What is the advantage of a human being in all the efforts that he is working under the sun? So he's saying, if after so many thousand years comes someone called Gabriel or some Zen Buddhist and say nothing is the matter of the universe, in order to reach a higher level of development you need to come to something, and saying, shut up. What I'm basically trying to tell you, all the work that you do in your life, why are you doing it for? There's no point, because everything is nothing. So, let's think about human beings. I mean, can you imagine going down to a person in the shop below where we are now and saying, excuse me, you're working very hard, right? Why are you working hard? Say, I want to have a good life. Tell him, but it will bring you nothing. It's no point. In the end, nothing will be left of you.
I think that he will be very afraid to hear it.
I don't think he will let fear come in. I think he will...
Say that it's bullshit. Yeah.
He said it's bullshit. Okay, so we'll move on. Okay. A generation comes and a generation goes, and the land forever stands. So what does this sentence do to you?
האמת היא שאני עכשיו חושבת על מה הטקסט הזה יכול, בעיקר המשפט הזה שאתה אומר, יכול לעשות לאנשי השמאל או כל האנשים שמנסים לשנות את העולם.
What saying is what this text is going to do to the people who try to change the world, not only the left, but the Greens and all the rest of it. So yes, he's actually speaking to them, if you like, and he's saying, you can try to change whatever you want, but look, all the generations that come and go, the land stands. Nothing basically makes a difference. You don't even scratch the surface of the land. As far as the land is concerned, it stands, it's there. You are just clouds on the surface of it, coming and disappearing. Doesn't make a difference. and the sun is shining, and the sun is coming, and for its place, it's aspiring and shining, it's there. So he is describing here some sort of a mechanical existence. He's putting an effort to show everything is happening under the sun. So the sun is like the king that rules everything. And then he's saying, what is the sun? The sun is a mechanical device. It's shining, and it's coming, and it's going to place, and it's trying to go there, and it's shining, it's there. The earth is there, the sun is there. Everything is working mechanically. No one cares. There's no God. It's automatic. It's just, we try and we aspire and we want and we change the world and we build the Babylon Tower and say, yes, but the universe you live in, no one gives a shit about you. And besides, there's something that someone clicked an automatic saying the sun is doing his thing, the earth is doing his thing, generation coming, going. That's it. What is he doing to you?
קודם כל זה מאוד מזכיר לי את גורדייף.
First of all, it reminds me of Gurdjieff.
Very much.
Very much. No, I don't have to translate it. It was in English.
And yes, יש פה דברי כפירה באמת, אם חושבים על זה.
There is blasphemy in what he's saying. In what?
בכל מה שהוא אומר, כי הוא אומר בעצם, אין פה שום ניהול מכוון, אין פה...
There is no conscious, intentional directing of what's happening.
כן, זה...
What do you feel about this text? What is it about my interpretation of the text?
אותי זה מאוד משחרר.
I feel much relieved and released.
Yeah.
Yes, you do?
Yeah.
Can you explain why?
זה מוריד את העוצמות של החשיבות של הדברים.
So it decreases the power of the importance of things. What things?
כל הדברים שיש לי בחיים.
All the things that I have in life.
Yeah. Or I don't have.
Or you don't have.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
החשיבות של ה...
Not to speak personally and privately, but
okay.
What do you mean?
אני הלכתי לפרסונלי צד, בפרסונלי סייד.
No need.
כל הדברים שחשובים לי ויוצרים אצלי מצבים...
All the things which are important for me and create situations...
של הזדהות.
Of identification.
כן.
So, if I understand you, you're saying that this text is doing to you two things. It decreases your sense of self-importance.
כן.
And the importance of the things which fill your life. And the second thing, it causes you not to identify with things which you see important.
נכון. Because nothing is important.
Because nothing is important. So, what does it make you feel that nothing is important, everything which is important for you, and the fact that you don't see any need to identify with anything because nothing is important? What does it make you feel? What is it causing you? In what sense is the way you feel in you different now after you hear this interpretation and this text than before we started to work on it, when you came here?
Okay. When I came here, I was one with myself and in the center of everything. And
one with myself in the center of everything, which means your personal problems and happiness and importance was in the center of the universe.
And I saw the universe through these problems.
In fact, you didn't see the universe.
I didn't see. Yeah, it's true. And now it allows me to be one with the universe, and
I don't think it allows you to be one with the universe.
It don't take me there because maybe I'm not in such a...
I don't think this text takes anyone anywhere. It's causing a person to be... It's causing a person to be weightless, from the weight of himself.
כן,
I think that's what you feel.
כן.
How does it feel to be weightless?
Great.
Can you expand a little bit when you say great, because it's a headline? Give a meat to it.
Physically, I feel that my head is...
What
Okay.
does it feel to you to be weightless? Are you going through your life with weight?
Yeah.
Are you weighty?
Now?
No.
Most
Now
of
you
the-
said you're not weighty, so I
Okay.
don't need to ask you if you're weighty.
Most
now.
of the time, yes. I am going with...
Most of the time.
Most of the time.
Most of the time? What percentage of the time?
כמה אחוז מהזמן אני
You're weighty.
מלאה בעצמי.
You're full of yourself, yes.
Yeah. 90.
99
Yeah.
or 90?
Now 90 maybe. But
Now 90? No, most of
after
the time.
most of the time before I met you, I can
No,
say.
before you met me. They don't know if you met me, you didn't met me. We're talking about the text.
Okay, 99%.
Okay, what do you think? You're different from most human beings in that sense?
No.
No. So, it's very important to come to this point and to see that this text, although it was written, I think, 2,500 years ago, it is a very radical text about human beings that didn't change since 2,500 years ago, because the sense of self-importance of the personal problems of the human being existed then, and it exists now, and Kohelet made no difference.